Judge number 5, Josip Seravat. Judge number 6, Susan Morris. Judge number 7, Graham Perrin. Judge number 8, Christine Muller. Judge number 9, Elizabeth Alexandra. The technical panel. Please welcome the technical controller, Karen Robertson. The technical specialist, Amanda Clinton. And the assistant technical specialist, Monica Schneider.
Okay, and one of the other elements that we didn't see yesterday that really is quite exciting when the teams do it well, and that's the synchronized spin.
Yes,
So
I always look forward to that.
those of you who are used to watching pair skating will have seen the pairs teams side by side doing synchronized spins. Well, now you're going to see 16 skaters side by side doing synchronized spins. It's a challenge for some of the teams. The unison, maybe not everything we expect, but certainly when we get to that last group, I think people will be more than impressed.
So the teams are coming out in reverse order based on their short program scores from yesterday. So we just saw the first few. Oh, apologies. Sorry, the scores they're drawn based on their names going. Pretty much the names go into a hat, don't they? Apologies for that.
They're drawn by group.
There we go. I'll let Chris tell you because he's the man who knows this kind of thing. Please do tell us how the groups are drawn, Chris. That would be great.
So what happens is the result of the short program. These teams are then split into groups.
Yes.
And there is a draw within each
Right.
of the groups.
So I understood part of it, but I didn't quite get all the way there. So the first group we've got is the skaters that were at the lower end of the scores yesterday.
Yes.
And then we have our middle group, and then so we've got 3 groups skating today. And the skaters we can see coming onto the ice now are Team Amarice representing Turkey. 4 groups today.
Yes. Unfortunately, we did lose one of the teams
did.
from yesterday. The Spanish team, unfortunately, had to fly home at the instruction of the sports ministry in Spain because of all of the problems that everyone's facing with the coronavirus.
Yeah, so we send our absolute best to the Spanish team, and we're very sad for them that they're going to be unable to skate their free program for us today. So hope their journey home is going well, and we will see them again next year.
So upset about
Yeah.
missing out on skating their free program. I think that after yesterday, where they had 1 or 2 falls, they wanted to show us what they were really capable of producing. But
They did.
there will be next year.
Yeah, so hopefully we will see them back at this event again
Yes.
next year.
And we wish them all the best, and we hope everyone in the team as well.
We do. So Team Amarice have now got 30 seconds or a minute.
Yes, once their name is announced,
Yep.
they have 30 seconds.
So they're just doing a final little warm-up.
And
They'll
now,
do a bit of a
ladies
team
and
chat.
gentlemen, please welcome, representing Turkey, Team Amarice Junior.
So now they have 30 seconds to get to their starting position. And they didn't take anything like that.
They didn't know. So they're skating to Cirque du Soleil, Incantation by Cirque du Soleil, and this is their first season in the Junior World Championships.
And for all of the people watching yesterday, I'm sure you will be able to recognize quite a number of the elements now. So the first element will be an intersection. Good clear shape. they've chosen to do the wheel. So you can see a lot of embellishments going on here. To their second intersection, which is the whip. They performed this yesterday as well. And that was a little better than yesterday's. Well done to them. Here we have the activity in action. And they're keeping it fairly simple, so hoping to get a good grade of execution from the judges. Just into the minuses. And a good attempt at the synchronized spin. Unison not quite there. As I say, in the later groups we're going to see some excellent examples. Into their moves element. Which is a little different to yesterday, where all of the teams had to perform spirals. In the free program, we have a mix of spirals, spread eagles, bowers. It's up to the teams to choose which they want to perform. The no-hold element, the change of place, and change of configuration. The last element, a travelling circle. So well done, they should be happy with that performance. No mishaps.
No mishaps, no falls, which is always lovely to see. They seemed a lot more comfortable on the ice today than they did yesterday.
I think they were a little overawed with this being their first championship, and the skaters always have to shake those nerves out.
And they were the first skaters on the ice yesterday and today, so that was the main reason I thought that it was drawn in reverse order, because of the scores yesterday. It never occurred to me that you'd just be drawn twice first.
No, so whoever did the draw for them, that will be the last time that they'll be allowed to do the draw again.
So Team Amorous were a mixed team, and they've been a mixed team since 2013, and they've been a junior team for 2 years now, and they're absolutely thrilled to have qualified for this event. Mixed age. And they're absolutely thrilled to be here and be representing Turkey in this event, because they just missed out on it last year.
They should be pleased with that performance.
They look very happy coming off the ice.
Yes.
Their costumes are excellent. They really suited the programme.
Yes.
And really suited the skate as well.
And we can see a good clear shape all the way through the box intersection. So as they go through, we really are looking to see the lines very clearly in evidence. It shouldn't look like bees in the hive in the middle.
Yes.
And there were no bumps.
And you can see on their faces that they're having a nice
yes.
time, can't you? Which is always nice to see. I liked all the little flourishes that they
this
did,
is
the
what
extra
makes
little
it
things.
an artistic wheel, as opposed to the wheel that we saw yesterday. In
So
the
all
short
the teams
program.
will do something different in their artistic wheel. Oh, cool.
Or some of them may do an artistic line.
Right. Yeah.
They have the choice.
But no two artistic wheel or artistic line will be the same.
Not necessarily.
Hopefully not.
They can have. There's a fair degree of freedom in what they can incorporate to get the level.
And
This was a much better effort in the whip intersection.
Yeah, like I said, they just seemed a lot more comfortable and a lot more kind of into the routine and therefore enjoying it a bit more than yesterday, where they did look a little bit nervous.
One or two of the skaters were actually stepping forward into those rotations. They should be rotated from a back entry.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
For Team Amarise Junior. Team Amarise Junior has earned in their free skating 49.07 points.
So a free program score
of 67.55.
So a segment score of 49.07.
Is currently in first place.
So not quite up to their season's best of the year, where they managed to get a score of 60.7, but they should be very pleased with the skate that they've just done. They certainly managed to show that they were, ready to enjoy a competition like this.
And it's a learning experience. Teams, when they come for the first time, it's a lot to take in at a World Championship.
And now on the ice we've got Team Starlight Junior representing Switzerland, and they're skating to Winter Symphony.
And starting off with a travelling circle. Good travel, good speed. Well done. Very cute costumes.
It's a shame.
Now they've chosen to do an artistic line. And straight into their no-hold element. Looking for those deep edges, clean turns. Also keeping tight shape, skaters close together. They're doing well today. Interesting transition into their pivoting block. Again, keeping it relatively simple. Straight into this whip intersection. Far side opened a little early, so that's going to cost him a little on the element level. Now into the moves element. Some very nice outside spread eagles. And catch spirals. There's a very light feeling to this program, using the music well. The fall in the synchronized spin, unfortunately, 2 falls. And the final intersection. No mishaps. Pity about the falls because it's a nicely put together program.
I really enjoyed the storytelling in that program where they were pretending to throw snowballs at the beginning and telling the story of the Winter Symphony. It was a very enjoyable program, and it was a bit of a shame about the falls.
Yes. But this overall was a better performance.
Yes.
For this team.
Yeah, better. And they seem to be
relaxing
that.
into the event today, which is good.
And it's always nice to see teams be just a bit more relaxed on the ice, isn't
Yes.
it? And feel a bit more comfortable. And they obviously recognise that, because even though there were those few falls, they're still coming off the ice smiling. So their free program scores have been quite close all year. They've been between 63.37 and 68.59. So in a relatively, close band. So it'll be interesting to see where today's performers places. They've been very, very consistent as a team throughout the season.
I think with the falls, maybe we're not going to be up there in the 60s. That may cost them a little. But they should be very pleased with the overall skate. Definitely showing promise.
And the travelling circle, is that one we haven't seen yet?
No, we had the travelling wheel yesterday. So the travelling circle is a new one for us.
So that's new. Okay. So this is that particular travelling circle was one we haven't seen before, because Team Amorice chose a slightly simpler one.
Yes.
So they went for a slightly lower level.
In the travelling circles, you will see either one circle travelling, or a circle within a circle travelling, or circles which are interlocking, and they showed us an interlocking circle. And
the interlocking is the hardest one.
That's
you
most
can
difficult.
choose.
There are two ways of performing the interlocking, either one following the other or side by side, and we'll see all of those things happening today.
Fingers crossed. So all of the teams that we're watching today, they within the elements they have to perform, they choose a level, don't they?
Yes.
And then within that level, they achieve a grade of execution, because there's a base amount, isn't there? And then you can either have base value. You can either have +5 or -5.
We could just see there on the whip that the far side opened up quite early, and that meant they lost the level.
So ideally, the skaters need to be as close as possible. Is that correct?
As close as possible, and maintaining the curves in the whip for as long as possible, until they open that whip and launch those fast end skaters into the wild blue yonder.
And synchronized skating is harder the closer you are to the rest of your team,
yes,
isn't it?
So you can imagine those 16 pairs of blades.
For Team Starlight Junior. Team Starlight Junior has earned in the free skating.
I thought it would be in the 50s, yes.
Points.
So a free program score of 54.82.
Score of 80.40.
With a total score of both their short and free of 80.40. So they are going to be a little bit disappointed with that. It's a lower score than they've achieved throughout the season.
But you can see, the girls understand.
Yeah.
And this is competition. These things happen.
They do. So now we've got Team Zagreb Snowflake Junior representing Croatia, and they're skating to the Rocket Man by Elton John.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a rising star in rock and roll. Please welcome all the way from London, England, Elton John.
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land?
So starting off with an intersection, and this is an angled intersection we're going to see, which is one of the most difficult intersections. A couple of collisions there, unfortunately.
Mongrels who ain't got a penny, sniffing for tidbits like you.
Good, strong outside spread eagles from the team in the moves element. And change spiral. Well done. Using the music well. A nice transition. Unfortunately, with a fall. But moving into their synchronized spin. Some nice interpretation from the team there.
Shake it loose together. Spotlight's hitting something that's been known to change the weather. We'll kill the fatted calf tonight, so stick around. You're gonna hear a
Good shape in the no-hold block. The change of configuration. 4 lines to 3 lines. And into the whip intersection, which everyone should be familiar with now. And they maintain the curves quite clearly. Well done. And you can see they got level 3 because the curve was held the whole way through. They should be really pleased with that. They've been working hard on that whip intersection. Performing their pivoting block. And now moving into the travelling circle. And this is an example of a circle within a circle. Both circles skating in opposite directions. So it's difficult to keep the shape for the skaters. And to keep the spacing equal. This is their artistic line. Well done. Fun music, fun theme.
Great costumes.
Yes, and they seem to be enjoying themselves out there.
Thank you, Team Zagreb Snowflakes
Very
Junior.
appropriate for the junior team.
Yeah. They seem
They should be
pretty
pleased with their
happy.
performance, yes.
They should, yeah, it was an excellent performance. So they got a short program score of 25.61 yesterday, which was the season's best for them. So they've come onto the ice hoping to be able to repeat that with their free. They did have one fall.
They did have a
unfortunately.
fall,
That's always a shame.
unfortunately, yes. So that's going to cost them the point and will cost them grade of execution
Right.
marks from the judges as well. This, again, was a good attempt at the angled intersection. Just unfortunately, 2 of the skaters caught shoulders at the very end. But they were keeping the spacing well. Oh, there we go. A little bit more than shoulders. Just saying hello as they went through. And that was one of their transitional moves.
Not quite sure why they've got numbers on their hair. I know it's part of the costume, but I'm not totally sure why. It's because they're a football team?
Rocket
Someone
Man.
is definitely shouting at me at the screen at home, being like, it's really obvious there, it's really obvious. Apologies to those people at home that do know why they've done that. It's a really effective, I'm just not quite sure why.
I think the outfit is one that Elton John wore. It was a baseball from baseball team.
I'm very sorry to the viewers that I didn't know that. That makes me
I didn't want to
terribly
jump in there.
uncouth.
I didn't want to jump in there, Claire.
It's get your
So
lads
I think it's
fine.
baseball players.
Thanks. So there we go. That's
But
why they
again,
got numbers in their head. They're excellent. Whoever
I
wrote those.
could be talking absolute piffle there.
No,
Claire.
I think you're right. Now you've said it, I think you're right. So
Even the coaches are joining in.
yes. So synchronized skating is a very relatively young sport in Croatia, and these guys are very, very keen to promote it. And
Yeah. And we have one member of the team who unfortunately is just too young by 2 months.
Skating 54.82 points with a total score of 80.43 and is currently in first place.
So Clara has come along with them, and the team wanted to send their love to Clara. And she's sitting in the audience watching now.
Cheering them on.
Yes. So love to Clara from
Representing the
all of your
Netherlands,
teammates.
Team Illuminets Junior.
So a free program score of 54.82 with a total segment score of 80.43, which is very close to their season's best, but not quite. Now
But they'll be happy with that.
They will be. Now we've got Team Illuminets Junior representing the Netherlands, and they are skating to a different reality. Representing Wonderland.
This team have improved a lot this season. A lot faster over the ice, good flow, good attack. And starting off with their moves element, a mix of outside spread eagles and 135 spirals. And they've chosen to do an artistic wheel. Giving us lots of additional elements in there. Lots of interest. Well done. And moving into the first intersection, which is an angled intersection, one of the most difficult.
That was a bad fall.
Unfortunately, with a trip for one of the skaters. And travelling circle immediately coming after that intersection. This is too long. Synchronized spin. No-hold element. They seem to have lost a little bit of confidence with that fall in the intersection. Hopefully they can pick things up. So that was a step series on the diagonal from them. Now moving into their pivoting block. And it's important that teams keep pivoting whilst they perform those steps and turns to get the higher level. The junior teams can perform unsustained lifts, so a lift which is less than 3 seconds off the ground. And into their whip. Both sides opened up a little early there. So that was more of a back-to-back intersection. So interesting theme to choose.
Yes, the theme was Alice in Wonderland, as viewers of the film can probably recognise. And they wanted to convey take the audience into like the world of Wonderland, and it was a big contrast from the short programme that we saw yesterday, which was Rebels Bon Jovi. Sorry, the theme was Rebels, and they skated to Bon Jovi, so it's very, very different. Because I hope the lad that fell is okay. He's holding his elbow a little bit.
I think he's probably got the
He's gonna
usual
have a bruise.
ice burn on the elbows.
Yeah, it did look like
Skaters
a
get
fall.
used to that.
Skaters are some of the most resilient people I think I've ever met, so they just bounce a lot of the time.
And the ice is quite hard.
The ice is, it's almost like it's cold concrete, isn't it? It's
Yes.
quite chilly and quite difficult.
That's quite an impressive spiral from one of the boys.
Yeah, the team had some really nice flares and flourishes that really added to the storytelling that they were doing with their program.
I did like this
This
artistic
was lovely, yeah.
wheel. They put a lot of variety into this.
Mm.
And we're seeing the end of the travelling circle. Well put together program, interesting choreography and good transitions.
And again, fantastic costumes. And we say that for pretty much every team, because
Yes.
you've all got fantastic costumes. But I just feel like it's something that needs to be pointed out, how wonderful they are, because a lot of time and effort goes into those costumes, doesn't it? And so this team have been together for a very long time. We were talking about them a little bit yesterday. They've been together since being juveniles, so they're an extremely close team. And they were saying they do a lot of things off the ice together as well, with like fundraising and just doing fun things together as a team, helping with their team building and their like cohesion. And I think you can see that on the ice, can't you? That they do
they're a
work
strong
together
group.
very well. And they've been coached by the same coach, I believe, from juvenile pretty much all the way up. So they're
All the way through, yes.
So
For Team Illuminate Junior. Team Illuminate Junior has earned in the free skating 56.90 points.
So 56.90 for their free program.
Of 85.79 and is currently in first place.
So a segment score of 85, sorry, total score of
We will now have a
85.79.
short break for ice
A little bit
resurfacing.
lower than their season's best, but with the fall,
At
Yeah.
to be expected,
3:20.
yes. And I do remember the coach when she used to be skating in one of the synchronized teams from the Netherlands.
That's a little while ago, isn't it, Chris?
Thank you very much for reminding me of that, Claire.
So we are now going to take a break for an ice resurfacing before we come back with the second group of the free program in the World Junior Synchronized Skating Championship 2020. So join us again at 3:20 when we will
One, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store.
If you see yourself on the screen, give yourself a big wave.
But I really don't wanna be a buzz like I had last week. I must stay deep, cause talk is cheap. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do? I really bag you, my lord. To me, flirting is just like a sport. Anything fly, it's all good. Let me jump in, please sing the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Mambo number 5. Jump up and down and move it all around. Shake your hand to the sound, put your hands on the ground. Take one step left and one step right. One to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And if it looks like this, then you're doing it. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little
Look at that person go.
A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of
Nice haircut.
I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Trumpet. The trumpet. Mambo number 5. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. I do all to fall in love with a girl like you. 'Cause you can't run, and you can't hide. You and me gonna touch the sky.
Smile, you're on camera.
Mambo number 5.
Lou Vega and Mambo number 5.
But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Everybody on your feet.
Now, Joe. But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But I've been forgotten, now, Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go?
If you look towards the stage area, there is certainly a helper there that is enjoying herself far too much. cheers. Give us a wave. Half of the Spice Girls on the screen. Did I just see a sneaky kiss then? Yay! It's the kiss cam. I saw a yawn then as well. They're the Spice Girls.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Before we go any further, we have a couple more birthdays to do. In Block 5, happy 50th birthday to Sarah Woods from all your Starlight Synchro skating buddies from Stirland. And also in Block 4, birthday wishes to Emma Napier, turning 16 tomorrow, wherever you are, Emma. Happy birthday to you. Now, we all know this one. Time to blame it on the boogie here at Motor Point Arena.
My baby's always dancing and wouldn't be a bad thing, but I don't get no loving, and that's no lie. We spent the night in Frisco at every kind of disco. From that night I kissed our love goodbye. Don't blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on the sunshine, I don't blame it on the moonlight, I don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. That nasty boogie bugs me. About rhythm gets me on my feet. I changed my life completely. I seen the lightning lead me.
Your guess is as good as mine what that was about.
I don't blame it on the sunshine, I don't blame it on the moonlight, I don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. Don't you blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, I don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet. I just can't control my feet.
Here we go, one more time.
I just can't control my feet. Sunshine, I don't blame it on the moonlight, I don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. I don't blame it on the sunshine, I don't blame it on the moonlight, I don't on the good times, blame it on the boogie.
There we go, there's Cher.
This magic music grooves me, that dirty rhythm fools me. The devil's got them to me. Through this dance, I'm full of funky fever. A fire burns inside me. Boogie's got me in a super trance. I don't blame it on the sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, don't blame it on the boogie. Don't you blame it, sunshine, don't blame it on the moonlight, don't blame it on the good times, blame it on the boogie. Sunshine, moonlight, yeah, good times, boogie. You just got the sunshine, yeah, moonlight, good times, boogie. Don't you blame it
Jacksons and Blame It on the Boogie.
When the world leaves you feeling blue, you can count on me. I will be there for you.
When it seems all your hopes and dreams are a million miles away, I will reassure you. We got to all stick together. Good friends are there for each other. Never ever forget that I got
Are we ready?
and you.
Arms in the air.
Reach for the stars, climb every mountain higher. Reach for the stars, follow your heart's desire. Reach for the stars, and when that rainbow's shining over you, that's when your dreams will all come true. There's a place waiting just for you. It's a special place where your dreams all come true. Fly away, swim the ocean's blue. Drive that open road, leave the past behind you. Don't stop, gotta keep moving. Your hopes you gotta keep building. Never ever forget that I got you.
One more time. Are we ready?
Reach for the stars, climb every mountain higher. Reach for the stars, follow your heart's desire. Reach for the stars, and when that rainbow's shining over you, that's when your dreams will all come true. Don't believe in all that you've been told. The sky's the limit, you can reach your goal. No one knows just what the future holds. There ain't nothing you can beat. There's no more where left to be. I said reach, climb every mountain. Reach for the moon. Follow that rainbow, and your dreams will
Here we go again.
reach for the stars. Climb every mountain higher. Reach for the stars. Follow your heart's desire. Reach for the stars, and when that rainbow's shining over you,
Come on, join in.
that's when your dreams will all come true. Reach for the stars.
One more from me before we get back to the skating.
Mountain higher. Reach for the stars. Follow your heart's desire.
Who's to say, perhaps before the day is over, we might even get the judges doing a dance. Final one from me for this session. Bit of Night Fever Saturday afternoon. Are we ready? Yes, we're still looking at you. you. Oh, look. I see some performers getting ready. I will be back in the next ice clean break. If you have any dedications or requests, please come and find me between blocks 15 and 16. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. See you soon.
Welcome back to the Synchronized World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020, and we're into our second group of skaters for their free program. What can we hope to look forward to?
I think we're going to see teams who are being more adventurous with the choreography, and you're going to see more difficulty in the elements that are being performed. So the features that they're adding into those elements are going to take it to a different level. Much more speed over the ice, and when we get to those spins, the whip elements, you're going to see that there's much more attack.
We can start to see the speed picking up a little bit just even in their warm-up now
Yes.
as they're coming on. So this is Team Magic Junior, and they're representing Hungary. And their free program is skated to Game of Thrones, which they chose as a whole team because they all are big fans of the show, and they really wanted to skate to something that they all loved. So they're currently sitting in 14th with a short program score of 29.06.
So a little bit more drama coming in the choice of music for the programs now. So we have the move element with the change spirals, spread eagles. First intersection, which is a box intersection. Cleanly executed. The music should be familiar to those of us who've watched years and years of Game of Thrones. And this is their no-hold element. Using the music well. A little bit more speed through the no hold would help them. A little bit cautious. Here we are into the synchronized spin. Not a great deal of unison, unfortunately, but they did make the required rotations. And as we go through the more experienced teams, you'll start to see more of those unsustained lifts. This is a traveling circle, which is weaving. That just means that the outside circle changes place with the inside circle. And into their artistic wheel. Well, some interesting features. Good variety of handholds. good to see a bit of basket weave. We don't see that very often. Now we have their whip. Now that's probably one of the better whips we've seen so far today. Executing their pivoting block. They seem quite happy with that.
They should be. That was a thoroughly enjoyable program to watch. Very dramatic. Lots of nice
Thank you, Team Magic Junior.
extra things added in, and like really good use of the music, I thought.
Yes, they're adding quite a lot of the extra features to increase the level of difficulty of the elements. And this team were starting to show a little bit more power, more flow over the ice, although in one or two of the elements they could have done with more speed, particularly in the no hold.
And is that because they were possibly a new element for them this year? That level was new and they were learning it?
More basic skating needs
Oh,
to,
okay.
to be worked on in order to get that speed across the ice
Yeah.
and the control as they are performing the turns.
Okay. And we keep saying basic skating, don't we? We mean that they're like their actual sort of skating level, as it which is the
The actual
stronger their
strike, the flow,
basic skating
the
is the
control.
Yeah. So the stronger they are in their skating skills, the stronger their elements will be,
Yes.
because they've got that base there, that groundwork.
So everything that they will be asked to do, they will find they can cope with because they have the strength of basic skating.
So nothing should take them by surprise. So they've got a season's best for their free program of 64.49. They've only competed in 2 international events this year, so it's hard to say whether they're having a consistent season or not. But their scores have gone up. Their short program has been relatively steady, around about 31. But their free program has been. They've had a bit of a jump between their first competition of the year and the second, so it'll be interesting to see whether they can keep pushing that up or whether it's going to be more in the kind of
Yeah,
middle.
and what happens is as the teams, when they go out to their first event of the season, they will then find things which perhaps they'd hoped were a higher level, but were not being called by the technical panel. They will find out what the issues are. That will then be incorporated into changes in the program, that as they move forward, they're going to be increasing the scores because they're correcting any errors or any deficiencies.
And they can keep the same program. They keep the same program through the season,
All season,
don't they?
absolutely.
But they can change it if they wish.
Yes, we have had some examples, and we will see an example later where teams have actually swapped programs, the Russian teams.
So they've swapped the teams. Actually,
The
swapped
senior,
programs.
the senior and the junior teams swapped the program.
Oh, I see. Oh, right. That's quite interesting.
For various reasons. Now the programs are different lengths. The senior program is 4 minutes. The
So
junior
they've had
is
to cut
3:30.
it down a little bit.
Please for Team Magic Junior. Team Magic Junior has earned in the free skating 68.15 points.
So a season's best of 68.15. They are, as you can see, very, very thrilled about that, as they should be,
Yes.
which gives them a season's best
In first
total score of 97.15. So they should be
Very happy with that.
very happy with that and very, very proud of themselves. Very well done, Team Magic Junior from Hungary.
representing Australia, Team Ice Skateers Elite Junior.
So now we've got Team Ice Skateers Elite Junior representing Australia, and they are free program skating to share.
This should be fun.
Does he love me? I wanna know. How can I tell if he loves me so? Oh no, you'll be deceived. Oh no, you'll make believe if you wanna know if he loves
And straight into their synchronized spin. Losing a little bit of the shape there.
squeeze him tight.
But still managing to get all the rotations required. now performing their no hold. Their whip intersection, winding up nicely into this. Well done. No mishaps either. And travelling circle next.
You keep pushing me aside and I can't break through. There's no talking to you.
Good attempt.
So sad that you're leaving.
Spacing could have been better. Not bad at all.
But after all said and done, you're gonna be the
Some transitional movement from them.
Do you believe in love?
Now into the pivoting block.
I can feel something inside me say, I really don't think you're strong enough now. Well, I know that I'll get through this,
Keeping very good formation in the block there.
'cause I know that I am strong. And I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. I don't need
Setting
you
up for their
anymore.
angled intersection.
No, I don't need you anymore. I don't know why I did the things
Little
I
bit of a collision
did.
now.
I don't know why I said the things I said. Pride's like a knife, it can cut deep inside.
Which affects their level. Now into the moves element. So those 135 spirals where they're holding the leg.
I didn't really mean to.
And the change edge spirals with the 2 groups of 4.
I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time,
And this would be their artistic wheel.
if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you. You'd stay if I could reach the stars. I'd give them all to you. Then you love me, love
Good variety.
like you used to do.
Ah, how cute at the end. Can't beat a bit of Cher.
No, absolutely not. We all
Keep
love a
the
bit of
audience
Cher.
happy. So they should be pleased with that performance.
It's a very different program to their Riverdance short program that we saw yesterday.
Yes.
And I think it's really great that the teams get to skate, you know, 2 very different things because it allows them to show different sides of their character as a team.
Absolutely. But they've chosen 2 pieces that are enjoyable, not just for themselves, but also for the audience and for the judges.
Yeah.
It's sometimes something that teams will forget, that they have to appeal to the judges, who are the people giving the points,
Yes, very true.
and also the people who are in there paying the money.
Yeah, just because they like it sometimes isn't enough.
And if you can get the audience on your side, it certainly helps. They really made a good job of that whip. So it may have been a long journey for them, but I'm sure they'll be very pleased with their performances.
So they've had quite a busy season. They've had 4 international events this year, and they've improved over the season. So at the beginning of the season, they were getting free program scores in the 50s, and the last competition they did, which was the Steel City competition last weekend, I believe, wasn't that long ago.
It was indeed. That was the one
They
that,
achieved a season's best of 66.46.
and I was there with them.
And you were judging?
I was the
Technical
technical
advising.
controller.
Yeah.
But not for the junior category. I was controller for the senior category.
I see.
But
So
I do
they've-
remember the performances.
So they've been pushing themselves throughout this season to improve their levels of the elements that they're doing and be getting as many scores as they possibly can. So each of the elements that they were looking at, they've chosen a level they're aiming for, aren't
Yes.
they? And then they're getting awarded the level that they've achieved. So when you see the viewers at home and when the little box comes up in the left corner, it will say the level that they've achieved when they finish that particular element.
And below that you will see the grade of execution given by the judges. If that's in red,
Team Ice Skateers Elite
those are
Junior.
points away.
Team Ice Skateers Elite Junior has earned in the free skating 62.99
So 62.99 for their free program,
of 92.21,
bringing them
and
to a
is
total of
currently in
92.21.
second place.
So again, an improvement from the start of the season. Not quite a season's best, but very, very much showing that how they have improved throughout this 2019-20 season.
Team Berlin Junior.
So now I've got Team Berlin Junior currently sitting in 12th place, representing Germany, and their free program, which one I'm very much looking forward to, is The Corpse Bride.
I think maybe we have the corpse there. This is their artistic line. A couple of axles thrown in for good measure. Now performing their no-hold element. Keeping a good formation, good spacing.
Give me a listen.
A little bit slow over the ice, they could do with a little more drive, more speed.
You got an ear? I'll tell you a story, make a skeleton cry. If I owned you deliciously lovely corpse bride. You might try high and you might try pray, but we all end up the remains of the day.
Step series were a little flat. They need to do a little bit more work to get deeper edges for the calls. And we'll see they achieved a step one. They would be trying for something a little higher. Now I hope that young lady gets back into the program quickly. Don't want to lose any more points than absolutely necessary. Now they are performing their moves element. Didn't quite manage the regrasp. Now into their pivoting block. With a fall. And this is their angled intersection. Preparation for the spin. And their interlocking travelling circle. That's one of their better elements.
I like the finish. I thought that was very clever.
So a few unfortunate falls.
Thank you, Team Berlin
And
Junior.
the program could have done with a little bit more drive and speed over the ice. But some nice elements in there. That travelling circle at the end was well executed, and they got a very good level for that.
I like the silver ribs on their costumes.
Yes, a little bit more speed would help with the depth of edge. But this is quite a young junior team, and I think once they've had a little bit more time together, we'll start to see the unison improving significantly.
It must be very difficult when you fall in a way and then you slide away from what's happening. It's just so hard to get back because you can't stop that, can you? It's just
Nope.
unfortunately what happens sometimes.
But you can see that the skaters in the teams now know no matter how hard you've bounced, get back up and get back into the
They
program.
did very well there not
to fall,
to
trip over.
Yeah,
that.
not to cause anybody else to fall. So they dealt with that fall particularly well because that's one of the hardest places to manage a fall, isn't it? Because it can create a chain reaction.
Especially in the pivoting block where there's a lot of other force acting on the lines.
So a fall is a deduction of
1.0.
for each fallen skater,
Yes.
and then you get a deduction, another deduction if you don't get back into the program before.
Within 10 seconds.
Within 10 seconds. Okay.
The scores, please.
There is a
Team
maximum
Berlin
of 3.0 in
Team
any
Berlin
single
Junior
element.
has earned in the free
deduction.
skating 56.13 points
So 56.13 for their free program.
of 87.83.
So 87.83. Unfortunately, not one of their best skates of the season so far, but they still look very happy to be here.
No, they dropped a place on the free but maintained their position.
Next to skate, representing Great Britain, Team Icicles Junior.
And now we've got Team Icicles Junior representing Great Britain, skating in their home rink of Nottingham. And their free program is the Circus, which follows on from their free program of last year, which was the Greatest Showman. So this is a free program that they all really love skating.
And into their whip intersection. And cleanly through. And this is their artistic line. Moving into their pivoting block. Moving across the ice well. Good speed from the team.
The spook returns. Let's go.
To the synchronized spin.
Let me see what you can do. Yeah. Like a what?
Good speed on the spin. Into their box element. Good intersection for them. Adding quite a lot of interesting additional features for the transitions. This is our travelling circle. Performed with weaving.
The spook returns.
Performing their no-hold element. The change of formation. And finally, their moves element. Let's change edge spirals and spread eagles. I think they should be happy with that. Now we could see good speed over the ice, good attack, and the girls really seem to be enjoying performing that today.
I've always liked watching the icicles because they always look like they're having a great time, and they put so many like little things into their program that almost make you feel like you're part of what they're doing.
Thank you, Team Icicles Junior.
So they should be pleased with that performance today.
They're coming off looking pretty happy. So they achieved the season's best with their short program yesterday, and they were absolutely thrilled with 33.11. Let's hope they can do something like that again. The coach seems very pleased. So their scores have been pretty much in the 70s region for most of the season. They had one competition where they had a free program score of 63.04. So their scores have been relatively close, apart from that one.
That competition
slightly
they had
lower
one or two bumps and trips.
So generally their scores throughout the whole season have been very, very consistent, with the exception of the lower pre-program mark and the exception of the season's best yesterday in their short program. So they are hopefully going to be happy with the performance they've just put on. They're just a team with a lot of character.
And characters.
And characters, yes. And their goal was to skate their hearts out at the World Championships in front of their home crowd, as it is something that they've all dreamed of doing, and being able to do that.
And I don't think people can appreciate just how much pressure that does put on the
Yes,
team.
I think they've dealt with the pressure
huge build-up.
extremely well as a team. Because they're performing in the rink that they will have been training in, won't they?
Absolutely.
And that can be quite hard sometimes, can't it?
But it must be very nice of them to have all of their families
Yeah.
able to join them at a World Championship.
Yeah. And again, wonderful costumes, really putting across the theme of their programme. And I thought that was a particularly good circus melody with the music, medley as well, with the music. That's one of the best I've heard.
Junior. Team Icicles Junior has earned in their free skating 72.56 points.
So 72.56, which is very much in line with the scores they've been achieving this year.
So they'll be relieved.
105.67.
So total score of 105.67. So
There we
because
go.
they got such a high score in their short program yesterday, that is a season's best total score for them, which must feel amazing. There's
And
a
we
lot
can
of
see
tears
the
of joy.
coaches are very happy with
And
that.
the coaches are very
Joining
pleased.
in the happy
We will now
dance.
have a short break for ice resurfacing.
So very,
and we
very
will
well done.
continue the competition
So Esther and Lauren, they're
at
looking
4:10.
very pleased with the performance of their team.
So well done, Team Icicles, being able to skate some of your best performances in your home rink of Motorpoint Arena, Nottingham. We're now going to take an ice break, and we will be returning at 4:10 for the third group of 4 in this competition.
Don't forget, if you see yourselves on the camera, give yourselves a wave. I need a pair of those flashing horns.
Saturday night dance, I like the way you move. Pretty baby, it's party time, and not one minute we can lose. Be my baby.
Little Mix on the screen. Wakefield and Saturday nights. Somebody in the arena today is coming to their first ever synchro competition. That is you, Olive Brickell in Block 10, who is 8 weeks old today. 8 weeks old today, coming to her first synchro competition.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. I know you'll get to like it if you give it a chance now.
We have another birthday in the arena this afternoon in Block 6. Happy 3rd birthday to Quinn, wherever you may be. Happy birthday, Quinn. Come on, look at the screen. We're looking at you, we're looking at you. Eat that banana. How many people can we get joining in? Come on, Motorpoint Arena. We have time for a few more before we get back to the skating. This is a favourite of somebody in the room, and I'm sure when we play it, this person may even stand up and join in. That person is your announcer. Come on, Tina!
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town.
Hi.
No need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to.
Here we go. Arms high in the air. Nottingham Motor Point Arena.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for your men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you want to be?
Very quickly before we get back to the skating, 2 more birthdays in section 5. Happy birthday, Lynn.
This one thing, no man.
Also got to say happy 18th birthday to Chantel. Ice Skateers Elite. Happy birthday.
To the YMCA, I'm sure they can help you today.
Here we go again. Arms in the air.
Fun to stay at the YMCA.
Perhaps not.
Stay at the YMCA. They have everything for your men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so tired. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man,
I'm not doing it. I'm on the screen.
the street, it's a place there called the YMCA. They can start you back on your way.
Come on, here we go.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for your men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. YMCA. And just go to the YMCA.
Are we having a good time this afternoon?
Young man, I was once in your shoes.
Oh, it's me. I will be back later on in the next Ice Clean session. Continue to enjoy your time here at Nottingham Motor Point Arena.
Welcome back to the third group of the World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020, and we're on the ice just doing their warm-up at the moment. We've got Team Harmonia, who are representing the Czech Republic. So this is the third group of skaters. Are we going to see an even greater increase in the level of basic skating?
Absolutely. As we go through these later groups, we're going to see it get stronger and stronger. And the programs become more intricate as well.
I'm very excited to see what these last 2 groups. So we've had 2 groups already, and we've got 2 more groups to come, and they're skating their free program. They all skated yesterday in their short program, and they've all got a variety of elements they're going to perform, where they'll be given a level, and within that level they're going to get a grade of execution, which when the little box comes up in the left hand corner while they're skating is the GOE, and that can be +5 or -5. So if it's green, they're getting a plus mark, and if it's red, they're getting a negative mark.
So the range is -5 to +5.
Yep. So hopefully for the viewers at home it will give you a nice way of being able to understand.
Oh, and just in
what
case you're
you're seeing.
confused, sometimes the box is black, and that's
Yes.
because everything was okay.
So okay is
They're not
black.
getting extra points, but they're not losing any points. They're getting the base value of the element.
Right. Okay. I hadn't actually noticed that, so thank you, Christopher.
So 0 is, it's not a bad thing, it's okay.
Next to
Yep.
skate,
0 is
Everything's
what
fine.
it is. It's okay.
Republic, Team Harmonia Junior.
Now I'm sure that Icicles are hoping that they're just going to sneak above one of the other teams here.
So Team Harmonia Junior, representing the Czech Republic, are currently in 10th place. They would need a score of at least 71.39 to move into first position, but there are quite a lot of skaters left to come after these guys. And they're skating to Rule the World mix of a medley of artists.
Quite a dramatic start. And straight away into their whip intersection.
You should see me in a crowd.
Cleanly through.
There's nothing to help. Watch me make 'em bow one by one.
And now their moves element.
Silence is my
Oh.
favorite sound.
1 or 2 problems there. One of the ladies falling off of the 135 spiral, but she didn't fall over. And you can see judges are reflecting that with a -G. Straight into their synchronized spin. Now they're traveling circle, and they're using the circle in circle, rotating in opposite directions. Good travel over the ice with weaving. Set up for their pivoting block. Now performing the no-hold element.
Everybody wants to the world.
Step series not as strong as you would want to see. Needs a little bit more speed to give them more depth of edge and more curve to get the calls. So it's likely just to be a step 1 for them.
Everybody wants to the world.
Into their box intersection.
There's a room where the light won't find you. Holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it.
And a transitional group lift move. And finishing off with their artistic line. Oh, into
The world.
their finishing pose. So a mixed program.
Thank you, Team Harmonia Junior.
Some parts of it were moving well, others they really need to be focusing on gaining more speed, more fluidity, and definitely working on the depth of edge, strong curves, in order to get those step levels.
So this year is their first team as a junior team, isn't it? They came up from mixed. They came from a mixed age team
yeah.
previously, which is why there aren't quite enough skaters to form a junior team, isn't it?
If they will have enough skaters, but they are not the correct age
the correct
range.
age. Yep.
So they have to be between 13 and 18. They must not have reached 19 by June the 1st. So that's the International Skating Union stipulation.
So some of the skaters will be 19, but
They
their
could be a
birthdays
little
were
older,
pre-June the 1st.
Or
last
even
year.
younger.
Yes.
Sometimes, they don't quite meet the minimum age, which is difficult because you don't want to take away the opportunity for a team to compete, be active through a whole season. So that is why we have the mixed age category.
Yep.
A little bit of a catch-all, but it's an incredibly popular category with all countries now.
And it allows the teams to be able to continue competing, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? If they don't have quite the right number of skaters in the right age range.
As I've said before, you find, especially with juniors, the skaters are coming up to 18, and in common with almost every other country, that's the time that people will head off to university. The one very nice thing about synchronized skating is a lot of the girls, when they do go, or the boys, when they do go off to university, they can join a team in another city or even another country.
Yes,
I know
quite a few of the teams have
some
got,
of our skaters have gone off and skated with teams in Canada, in Australia, in Sweden, Finland, and exactly the same happens here. We have skaters who've come in from Finland, from China, from lots of countries. So it's a great way of, first of all, giving you an opportunity to carry on the sport, but also it's an instant social group.
Yeah.
Team Harmonia Junior has earned in the free skating 70.19 points, with a total score of 104.48. It's currently in second place.
So a segment score of 70.19, which is pretty middle of the scores they've achieved this year, so well done them. And a total segment score of 104.48, which puts them in second place underneath Team Icicles Junior.
Which is good news for Great Britain, because that means that Team Icicles will be in the top 10, which gives us 2 teams to go to Junior Worlds next year.
Ah, excellent. So now we've got Team Icefire Junior representing Poland, and their free program is called Breath.
And Angel Wings carrying them through the program. Good transitions to open the program, and they'll move into their artistic line. Which is one of the optional elements in the junior free program. Now into the moves element with intersecting of the catch spirals and the outside spread eagles, and strong group change edge spirals. A little bit more unison on the synchronized spin, certainly going to help the grade of execution from the judges, but they did make the required rotations for the highest level. Now they're doing their angled intersection, Might have been a minor collision there with a couple of the skaters. Very interesting music. Challenging for the team. This is a no-hold element. And the unsustained lifts mustn't be longer than 3 seconds. Now they're interlocking traveling circle. Pivoting block, really picking up the pace, responding to the change in the music. And finishing off with their whip intersection. Very different program from them.
Very unusual music and very inventive choreography.
Very mature.
It suited them really well.
Very dark costumes.
Yeah. I think the wings are fabulous. That's their alternates skating onto the ice to greet them at the end. So each team has essentially people who are there on standby, aren't they, if there's
Yes.
any injuries or problems, and they
Or
have
illness,
to, or illness,
anything,
yeah,
yes.
and they have to step into any position. So being an alternate is really difficult because you have to be able to just step into any position of the 16 skaters and perform.
They should be pleased with themselves. That's a good outing for them today.
Yeah, very much so. I liked the final montage was very creative as well and very in keeping. I've said before, I'm a big fan of the storytelling in the free programs. It's one of the things I like most about the free programs is it allows the teams to tell a story, and I thought their story was particularly well put together.
And it's very good to see the Polish teams back and competing at world level again. There was a little hiatus where the Polish teams weren't competing and a few of the teams had disbanded, but they're certainly coming back with a bang.
They are.
And
Absolutely.
it's wonderful to see. Poland has a very rich tradition of skating, so we really want to see that participation across all of the figure skating disciplines. So, well done, girls. Oh no, just a little slow going through, not a collision, that was good. But there was a good approach. They started their rotations before the two lines crossed, and all starting from backwards. And here we can see travelling circle. Some butterfly jumps again.
The scores, please, for Team Icefire Junior. Team Icefire Junior has earned in the free skating 81 points.
They should be really
They
pleased
should
with
be
that.
very, very happy with that.
I think the coach is quite happy by the looks of things.
And is currently in first place.
It's a fantastic score from Team Icefire Junior. Their previous season's best was 68.90, so they have absolutely smashed that.
it. Yeah.
And giving them a total
Representing
of
Sweden,
higher than anything else that they've achieved all year. So a really fabulous skate from them. Very, very well done.
Absolutely the right time to do it.
We've now got Team Seaside Junior on the ice. And they are skating to Bird Box, which is a movie theme.
And straight away into the artistic wheel. Very interesting. It's good to see some innovation with the features they are putting into these artistic elements. And now the familiar whip intersection. Cleanly executed. Good speed. Absolutely no interruption into the travelling circle. So weaving circle in a circle, and the circles travelling in opposite directions. All required for the more difficult level of the element. This team are paying a lot of attention to putting interesting transitions throughout the whole program, both between the elements and within the elements themselves. Now we have their pivoting block. A bit of a challenge with the footwork for some of the skaters there. Good, fast, synchronized spins. So they'll get a good level, but unison could have been better. Fall in the no-hold element.
He said, a pretty bird, you can't sing, but I'll buy you diamonds and ruby rings, like a bird locked up in a cage. And how can I escape this place and go higher, higher? And you can't hold me down, no.
Just needs a little more power and attack in that no-hold. Now moves element. But unfortunately, a couple of little errors there. Building up that transition mark from the judges and their components. And angled intersection, fast, good rotations. So it's been a bit of a mixed program for this team. They show that they do have the ability to produce the power. They just need to make sure that they apply that through all of the program and all of the elements.
Yeah.
And the angled intersection we just saw is one of the more difficult elements to perform as well. They really attack that. Just need to apply that in their no-hold element. That will help them quite a lot.
So a team couldn't do two whip intersections. They have to be two different intersections.
They have to be two different.
So the teams that are trying to get the highest levels will choose the angled and the whip.
And the whip, yes. You're getting good at this, Claire.
What can I
We'll
say?
get you on that
I'll
panel
listen.
one of these days.
Again, fabulous costumes. I know I say that for every single team, but they are all beautiful costumes. Make it a really joyous visual spectacle.
This was the artistic wheel from this team.
It's So they've had a pretty good season. They've competed in a lot of international skating events, and they have improved pretty much consistently through the season to be getting free program scores in and around the 90s. So few falls today. Do you think that's possible today, Chris?
I think they're probably going to be in the low 90s.
Which is still an improvement, would still be an improvement
Yes.
on the Swedish first qualification, which was their first international event of the season, where they got 87.24, and they've built on that pretty much through.
So it's definitely going to be
Yeah.
in between that range and just into the 90s, I believe.
So not their
Now,
best
looking at
skate,
the
but
strong right forward inside, but coming out of that, a lot of the skaters are on the toes and on the flat. So they're not going to get the step level called for the pivoting block. Or they will get a level, but it's going to be a low level.
It'll be a lower
I
level.
should be clear on that.
yeah, so they don't not achieve a level, do they? They would always get a level, but sometimes it's a slightly lower than the one they were aiming for.
I think they are aiming for a step 2 or step 3, and they will probably have been awarded a step 1. Good continuous rotations through that, and that, as I say, that's a difficult element, and they really attack that with confidence. The coach is looking a little curious. Smiling now.
As the team's waiting with their coaches for their score to be read out. So they placed 13th last year with a free program score of 83.07. So obviously it is a different program, but you
Yes.
can see that they have improved an awful lot from last season to now, and then through this season as well. And there is a very close competition between the two Swedish teams that we've got with us today. So they're not just competing with the other international teams, they're also competing with their Swedish team.
It's quite
as
interesting.
well.
Sometimes there's more internal competition than the competition, with the wider view. They're more concerned about beating their own national rivals than the international rivals.
The scores, please, for Team Seaside Junior. Team Seaside Junior has earned in the free skating 85.01 points.
So 85.01.
That will
with
just
a
keep them
total
in first
score
place.
Of 135.61 is currently in first place.
So not one of their best scores of the year, but still a very, very entertaining program to watch.
I think when the
Next
other teams
skate,
skate, it's going to be a
representing
challenge for them to
Sweden,
to
Team
maintain
Spirit
that first
Junior.
place. And here are the local rivals for them.
So they've been drawn to be competing one after another, which has got to be difficult. So we've now got Team Spirit Junior also representing Sweden, like the team we have just seen, and their free program theme is Haunted, which we could probably have guessed from the costumes, potentially.
And watch for that final score. They need 85.72 in order to move into first place. Starting off with their travelling circle, weaving. They're certainly attacking this program. Good speed over the ice. Now we can see the unison is starting to come in the spins. So a lot of teams focus just on the number of rotations. This team is focusing on the rotations and the unison, which is why you're seeing the GOE and the positives from the judges into their pivoting block. That was more of a challenge for them in achieving the edges for each of those turns. And two nice axles with the artistic wheel. It's nice to see an egg beater shape happening. We don't see those very often nowadays. Set up for their angled intersection. Again, a good attempt. Change edge spirals for the moves. Outside spread eagles. Change outside spread eagles. Element. A little bit more work needed to get the steps onto clean, strong edges. But building the speed. Nice to see the vault in the transition and into their whip intersection. They should be happy with this performance. And again, giving us good variety in the transitions, all helping build that transitions mark in the components. There was a lot of drive. They really were attacking with the music, which again was really interesting choice.
And there was a lot more unison in this team, wasn't
Yes.
there, like you were saying?
Thank you, Team Spirit Junior.
Do you find some elements do go in and out of fashion? That you said you don't see very many egg beaters these days.
Because the number of skaters that we have in the teams now is significantly
see.
less than we used to have in the past.
Oh, right. How many
So-
did there used to be?
Well, in the very, very old days, when you were just a thought, we had 32 skaters in some teams.
32.
Now you can
Ooh.
imagine twice the number of skaters that you're seeing here.
Still
Then
in one,
in one team.
doing the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm going to have to look that up later. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes. Then it was reduced to 24. And again, some countries were having problems in finding enough skaters to make teams. So that was then reduced again to 20, which we had as the standard for quite a number of years.
And now
And
it's
then
16.
finally, in the 2008, now somebody may be shouting at the screen saying, no, it wasn't 2008. I think 2008, the number was reduced to 16. And what that has done is allowed the skaters to move much faster over the ice. Because the bigger the team, the less space you have. You can imagine 32 skaters. If you put them into a wheel with one straight line, they actually went from barrier to barrier.
Oh, wow. There's some very strong elements from this team, wasn't
Yes.
there?
And you can see unwinding that whip at the same time going through. Really good timing on that intersection.
No, it's another very dramatic program. I feel
Yes.
like we've had quite a lot of really,
Wow.
dramatic skating, which has been excellent.
Let's see who's going to be ahead on this one.
Junior. Team Spirit Junior has earned in the free skating
Yep, they've done it.
95.51 points,
So 95.51 for their free program.
with a total score of 145.
So that's really put them out
So
ahead.
145.41.
First place.
They seem very, very pleased with that. That does put them
They
ahead of
should
the
be.
other Swedish team and puts them currently into first place.
Because those two teams were very close after the short program.
Canada, Team Les Suprêmes Junior.
And now we've got Team Les Suprêmes Junior coming onto the ice, and they are representing Canada, and their free program is the Matrix.
This is a very, very strong team.
To move into first place, they're going to need a score of 83 points, which is very, very possible.
That should be well within
Well
their
within their
capabilities. They are... I'm surprised that they are in this group, to be honest. Because the quality of skating of this team and the quality of the choreography really is a step up now. You can see how much sharper everything is from them. Weaving travelling circle. I find that all of the nuances of the music are really being used. Strong basic skating, good lines, strong extension from this team. Into their pivoting block. And they are trying the highest level of difficulty for that pivoting block. So 4 turns on 1 foot. Now performing the whip intersection. Collision, that's going to cost them a little bit in the level. There you can see point of intersections down at level 1. Really like this spin. Strong position, good unison, fast rotation. A lot of attention to detail in this team. Moving through the no-hold element. Now we have the angled intersection. A lot of speed, a lot of attack from this team. Moves element. Good position, good edge. Well into the positive GOE territory from the judges. And the artistic wheel. Some very interesting features there. They should be very pleased with that performance today.
They should, yeah. It was a very, I think interesting is the word, isn't it? It was very
we can see that
involved
stepped up.
program. Yeah.
Challenging
They look
program,
very
but
happy.
they handled it well. They seem quite pleased there.
I think they're quite pleased, yeah. You can probably safely say that. And again, fantastic costumes, right on theme, very Matrix.
Yes.
Matrix Data-esque. Very, very good. So their short program for them was not as strong as it could have been. They've generally had scores in the sort of mid to high 60s in their short program, and yesterday's was 62.42. So
they would have hoped for more. Yes.
Yeah, they would definitely have hoped for more at this competition. So hopefully, with the skate that they have just done, they'll be feeling.
I did think they deserved a little more yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah, we enjoyed that program, didn't
We
we?
did, yes. Should they'd like us to be on the panel, Claire?
You definitely, me maybe not so much.
I don't know how you can say that.
But they'll have come out onto the ice knowing that yesterday didn't go quite as well as they were hoping, and knowing that they had to put their absolute everything into this program, and I feel like they really did.
They were determined.
Very, very determined. Like you said, lots of attack.
Yes. They had something to prove.
Well, let's hope the scores reflect the amount of determination that they put into that program. So they're currently sitting in 6th place. And I feel like you can really see the determination on their faces.
Yes. I'm sure when they got off the ice, they felt that they've really skated a program. And that's how it should be. There should be no effort that has not been out there.
They should be
seen.
tired.
Absolutely.
When they get off the ice. They should be totally exhausted. This is their last skate of this competition.
Of the season.
Of their season, yeah, absolutely, of the season. And
we're very lucky that the teams have actually had the opportunity to compete here at the Junior World Championship. Not the same for the seniors, unfortunately. That has been cancelled.
Team Les Suprêmes Junior. Team Les Suprêmes Junior has earned in the free skating 110.91 points.
So 110.91 for their free program.
With a total score of 173.33.
That's a little more like it.
173.33 for their total.
In first place.
It's not their highest score, but that's a very respectable score for them.
And that does put them currently into first place.
Have a short break for ice resurfacing, and we will continue the competition at 5:07.
So we're now going to take a break for an ice resurface. Please join us again for our final group of 5 skaters, and these are the skaters that placed highest yesterday after their short program. So please join us again at 7 minutes past 5, 5:07, for the final group of the competition.
Sing of an English king 1,000 years from now, and not because he passed some laws or had that lofty brow. While bonny good King Richard leads the great crusade he's on, we'll all pretty backside. Now we do it all again and we feel alright.
choco, choco, a choco, choco, a choco, choco, a choco, choco. Everybody say a chocolate, chocolate, a choco, choco, 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 chocolate, a choco, choco.
Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He told me, ting tang, walla walla bang bang. 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 I told the witch doctor you didn't love me true. I told the witch doctor you didn't love me nice. And then the witch doctor, he gave me this advice. Ting tang, walla walla bang bang. 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 You can keep your love for me just like you were a miser. And I'll admit it wasn't very smart. So I went out to find myself a guy that's so much wiser. And he told me the way to win your heart. Ooh ee ooh ah ah. 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 Ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Come on and ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ting tang, walla walla bang bang. Ting tang, walla walla bang bang.
Final set of dedications then in this ice break. Happy birthday to Ophelia, who turned 12 on Tuesday, wherever you are, Ophelia. Don't forget, skaters, your skaters party tonight over in Saltbox Bar.
Hey, baby, from the 70s. Okay, put your hands up in the air, the hand in the air. On, everybody sing now. Hey, baby. I wanna know if you'll be my girl. Hey, baby. I wanna
We have 2 more birthdays to mention. In block 15 is Andrew, who in dog years is 8. And also happy birthday, happy 18th birthday to Nika and Olivia, who are part of the Team USA Skyliners. The message is, we wish you could be here. Happy birthday to you too. Shout out to the 2 drivers on the ice at the moment. Doing a grand job.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? And
this is your final chance to be on the screen.
Reaching out, touching me, touching.
Come on, put Motor Point Arena.
Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never was, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only 2. And
she's dancing this time.
Hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe there never would. Oh, no, no. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never could. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I heaver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's heavering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking,
Not yet.
I'm gonna be the man who's walking.
Just block 5.
When the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I drove, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over to you. But I would walk 500
we ready? This time, let's hear ya.
When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you.
Here we go.
But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walks 1,000.
Are we ready?
All that you do.
Final one from me this afternoon. Everybody, it's been a pleasure to be here yesterday and today. Enjoy the rest of your stay here in Nottingham.
Help me escape this feeling of insecurity. I need you so much, but I don't think you really need me. But if we all stand up in the name of love and state the case of what we're dreaming of, I've got to say I only dream of you. But like a thief in the night, you took away the love that I knew. Relight my fire. Your love is my only desire. Relight my fire, 'cause I need your love. Turn back the time till the days when our lovers knew. Do you remember? No matter what was happening, I was there with you. But if we all stand up for what we believe and maybe live within our possibilities, the world would be wild for the dream. So baby, don't turn away. Listen to what I gotta say. Relight my fire. Your love is my only desire. Relight my fire, 'cause I need your love. Relight my fire. Come on, yeah. Your love is my only desire. Relight my fire, 'cause I need.
Welcome back to the final group of the World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020. These are the skaters that placed highest yesterday, so this should be some very, very exciting skating to finish off the event here today. So we've got Team Mystique Junior, Team Nexus, Team Junost, Team Crystal Ice and Team Fantastic.
I'm really looking forward to this group. There's going to be some wonderful programs, some great skating.
And they're all going to be battling it out for those places on the podium.
And they will be battling.
They very much will. So the first team out are Team Mystique Junior from Finland. They're one of two Finnish teams we've got with us today. And at the Junior World Championships in 2019, there was less than a point between their two scores. And I believe there's even less of a...
Even less.
Even less this year after the short program.
We're
going
in
into
the
the free.
tenths.
So tenths of a point between the two Finnish teams. So this free program skate, it all rides on this. So they are currently sitting in 4th after the short program, and they need a score of 103.62 to be placed in 1st, which is well within their capabilities. They're looking to hopefully get a score in the sort of 120s.
Here we go.
Mark, and they're skating to TikTok.
And straight into their whip element. Wow. Great speed. You could see how far the fast end skater was launched by the others. No hold, strong edges, as I've been talking about through the whole of the competition. Truly acting as one unit. The coach of this team always puts together very interesting and challenging choreography for them. Miru Penttinen and Vili Penttinen, her husband, work together. Great job on the choreography. So fast in that spin. Really beautiful no-hold element. Great position on those spirals. Strong flow, good edges. The whole clock theme is carried through the whole program. Clean, clear, angled intersection. And here we have an egg beater again. We're really liking this. This is the artistic wheel for this team. Great transitional moves as well. Very creative. If you look at the lines, leg line, body lines, everything is matching. Into the pivoting block. So well choreographed in music. Great job by Miru. And the interlocking travelling circle, getting the highest level, as it deserves. Such nice touches in this program. Hold your interest from the start to the finish. I always like programs where I don't actually notice the elements being separate from the rest of what's going on, but so much creativity introduced here, really moving to a different level.
Yes, I think we're going to see that in this final group, aren't we? That it's up other level from the skaters we've seen so far.
Absolutely skating as one unit, as a team. Nobody stood out.
No.
No errors, so they should be very proud of what they've done, and the coaches should be really happy with that performance.
And I liked all the little touches when they were being clockwork dolls at the end, where they all ran out of clock, ran out of tick, and then it finished, and you're surprised when it finished, and that's always nice, isn't it? When you're like, oh,
It's good when you
it's over.
they leave you wanting
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very well done. And slightly unusual costumes from this team. You don't often see costumes like that,
Unitards, yeah.
don't they? They work very well with this
Yes.
program.
Timing is just excellent. And you could see the force that they were coming around. So these skaters really were doing exactly what we want in the whip. The fast end skaters are being launched towards the barrier.
Almost
and it
into
took
the
a
barrier.
lot of control.
Yeah.
And they are strong skaters. A lot of control by those girls at the end.
The unison here is fantastic.
Yes. But just look at the body lines. Look at the lean, the body.
You don't
The
know
catch
which one
foot
to look
position,
at.
yes.
Yeah, because they're all doing the same thing.
All the little touches.
Yeah. Like I said a few times, I like the program.
That's a great shot of the angled intersection, showing
See how neat
the
it is, can't you?
reducing of the corridor before they actually go through. And here we have
I thought this was
egg
really
beater.
effective.
Yes,
really effective.
Really like the egg beater. Then giving us all of these transitional moves in the artistic wheel. They should be very proud, and I hope the coaches are really proud of the performance of their team today.
So they've achieved a score in the 120s once this season at the Finnish Junior final qualifications. So they'll be really hoping for something near that today. Oh, very good. They're going to be thrilled with
they
that.
should be
That's
thrilled. Well, I think you can
smashes their
see
previous score out of the water.
how excited the
And they've
girls are.
broken 200 for the first time in this season.
That's,
so absolutely
you can see what that means to them.
fantastic. The 200 mark was only broken for the first time ever last season. So very, very well done, Team Mystique Junior. Oh,
So congratulations to
Fabulous
Miru
score.
and Vili Pentinen for the work with that team.
now we've got Team
Great
Nexus
programme.
Junior representing Canada, and they're skating to a royalty medley representing fierce and feminine characters skating with attitude and confidence. They're currently,
We know about attitude, don't we?
we do, currently in fifth. Currently in fifth place.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies.
Really going for
My address
high level of speed going into this pivoting
in
block.
a torn up town. No postcode envy, but every song's like
Well executed.
dripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, ball counts, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams.
And
Bodies like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on
moving into the intersection.
tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We are caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be royal. You can call me Queen Bee.
Good speed, good spacing, cleanly through.
Let me live that fantasy.
And their interlocking travelling circle. Moving up the ice well at a good pace. Good element for them.
Let me live that fantasy.
I love the faces sometimes. I think that was part of the royalty. Close. Good shape. moving well across the ice for this no-hold element. Right the way through the pivoting. Edges could be a little stronger. Again, a good whip intersection from this team. Very clean, clear formations. Good speed on that spin. Very nice actions from the young ladies as part of the artistic wheel. The artistic line, sorry. Did that yesterday as well. Now into their move element. Good positions, good flow. And a death spiral transition to end for us.
It was a very strong death spiral. I thought it was a really good one.
Well done. The skaters should be very pleased with that.
Another really strong performance by a team in this group, and they look very pleased.
And they should be. They deserve to be happy with that.
Clearly a positive hug at the end.
Yes.
And like I was saying, it's seeing their facial expressions while they're skating is always really nice.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like clearly so into the program. And it's nice to see them skate something they love so much.
You want the skaters to be absolutely committed to what they're doing.
And they get very attached to the programs, don't they? Because they do the same one all season, or often they do the same one all season, and they must love some more than others. Or do they get attached to the one for each season they're currently doing? I don't know.
As they go through the season, they're skating it more and more, so therefore, yes, they do.
Yeah. Are they sad to see them go at the end of the season? Do teams ever do the same program for more seasons?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, oh, right, that's interesting.
That can depend on how much practice time
yes,
the teams have. If they don't have enough time on ice, sometimes they may have to keep the short program or the free program from one season to the next, assuming there aren't huge changes in the rules.
And sometimes the skaters in a team can come from like quite a vast area of the country that they're representing, so their actual team on ice time can be quite limited sometimes, can't it? It's one of the challenges of the sport, isn't it? Is getting everyone in the same place at the same time with ice time to be able to practice. So Team Nexus have had a slightly variable season. They've had most of their scores in the 100 plus. They had a little dip at the Bill Phillips Memorial competition in Canada where they were just under 100. And they've had some scores in the 100.
I think they might have had a little bump and fall.
A couple of falls. And their total scores have varied from the 150s to the 109, around 190. Sorry, it's the 194.34 was their season's best.
The young lady just held it very well there. She almost came off the feet, but she saved that 1 point deduction.
Which can, at this stage of the competition, can
Absolutely.
make such a difference, can't it? It can be the difference between a podium place and not now.
Absolutely.
So any fall at this stage is critical.
Well held.
Team Nexus Junior. Team Nexus Junior has earned in the free skating 121.22 points.
So that's very, very close to their season's best, so very well done for them.
187.40. Team Nexus Junior is currently in second
So 187.40, they should be very, very pleased with that, and that puts them currently into second place. So slightly ahead of the other Canadian team.
Russia, Team Junost Junior.
So now representing Russia, we've got Team Junost Junior, and they are currently sitting in first place, and they are the reigning champions, having won last year By a fairly close margin.
Yes. Less than a point.
Less than a point.
But they've been world champions, junior champions 3 times.
2 times in a row. And they're skating
Scheherazade.
to Scheherazade. It turns out that I do know what that is.
Straight into the moves element. Lovely positions. Strong, flowing. Interpreting the music very well. Now, there we have synchronized spin for 16 people. That's a treat. With very positive GOEs. Full of interesting transitions, this program. All of these skaters are strong individual figure skaters. Again, very well executed whip intersection. Such attention to detail. Using the phrasing of the music very well, change of the element with the change of phrase. And good interlocking traveling circles, and those ones were side by side as opposed to one following the other. The angled intersection. Great speed on the rotations through the point of intersection. We have a problem on the pivoting block, major problem. That's going to cost them dearly. They didn't quite manage to join, and we can see the girl is still chasing her place. It's really unfortunate. That could have cost them the title. Their no-hold element, strong turns, driving through the element into the change of configuration. Such energy. Clean and clear turns, good edges. Love the choreography of this program. Such a pity about the pivoting block.
What was the issue? What happened?
On the transition into joining up for the pivoting block, one of the lines didn't manage to join.
Oh.
So 2 of the girls had not managed to join onto the 2 leading people in their line. And that meant that they'd lost the momentum. They couldn't do the pivot. When the pivot end changed, it then interferes with the rest of the skaters.
Right. Yeah, they do look...
Such a shame.
Do look a bit disappointed.
Because that is a great program from a great team.
And you can see the speed that they move and the
this
precision and how close they are. They're very close together.
That's one of the dangers. When you are so close together, when you are moving so quickly, any error really shows.
Yeah.
Much easier to fix an error when you're moving slowly, but if you want to be world champions, you have to put everything on the table.
Well, at least they're still smiling.
They have good grace when they come off, you can see.
They had a moment as a team, and then they turned to the crowd and smiled and waved. And
Yep.
still did their bows and
They
smile.
will be very. Just look at the unison. 16 skaters absolutely spinning as one. And out. I would have to be hospitalised after that, Claire.
I think I would, to be honest, as well.
Be lying down for a long rest. Great time. Again, great timing. As the curves open, absolute unison. Oh, a little bit of a step forward from a couple of the skaters there. Don't know if the technical panel will have spotted that. They should initiate the rotations from backwards, not actually stepping from back to forwards. I know that's a very technical requirement, but
I thought they're is it intersecting circle? Travelling wheel. No.
oh, the circles.
Where it changed, they changed positions in the rink. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I thought that was fascinating to watch. It was very, very kaleidoscopic, which is what they're aiming for, isn't it? That we're not looking at any one skater, we're looking at the whole team.
Coaches have done a great job.
Yeah, it's a beautiful programme, and such a shame that error got made.
Yeah, so Sanyanova and Moshinova have Natalia and Elena. You can see them there. Natalia and Elena are really
Scores, please, for Team Gymnast
pulled out a
Junior.
great programme.
Team Gymnast Junior has earned in the free skating 129.14 points.
Costly error.
With a total score of 205.23, Team Gymnast Junior is currently in first place.
So a score of 129.14, which they are going to be a bit disappointed with a total score of 205.23, which is very sort of middle of the scores that they've been achieving this year so far. But this does very much open up the field for our remaining two teams, Crystallised Junior and Team Fantastic. We've now got Team Crystallised Junior on the ice, and they're representing Russia, so they're the second Russian team. They have got to put in a perfect performance. They need a score of 129.31 to be in first place.
So, in fact, this puts even more pressure on them.
It very much does. So their lowest score of the season is 122.23, and their best is 136.21. They're skating to Nagada Sang in the movie Aganath.
Really driving through. Very interesting artistic line. Great choreography. Now into their pivoting block. Hopefully they won't have the same problem. No. Strong edges. Fast flow. This team's really delivering on this program. Angled intersection. Fast, strong, cleanly through. And they're giving us every different type of move you can imagine in an Indian dance. Really powerful change edge spirals. Spread eagles with the catch spirals intersecting.
Oh no!
That looked like a heavy fall. Into their travelling circle. Some An error, but not quite as big an error as the previous team in their pivoting block. Now their whip intersection. Well executed again. I'm not sure if there wasn't a fall in that.
I think there was.
Oh, they are having a bit of an issue. This has now made the whole competition wide open. I think the pressure is getting to the girls, but they continue to perform. In this last element, the no hold. So much detail. Speed and unison on those twizzles is phenomenal. Great interpretations. Fabulous choreography for that program.
That was a very exciting program to watch.
And now it's
And that
all
fall
going to be down to those errors.
Took me so much by surprise. I don't think I've ever said "oh no" before when a skater fell.
So it's either 2 or 3 falls they had.
Yeah, I think there was a fall in their intersection as well, which again I almost missed. I think there was a collision and then a fall, but hopefully we'll be able to see it on the slow motion shortly. This very much opens the competition.
Certainly does.
So our top 3 teams were very, very close. So this does give Team Fantastic, who are our last team to skate, there could be a chance that they
Everything
could
to skate
take
for.
first, which would be amazing, absolutely fantastic. Who knew that both Russian teams would have issues in their free program? We could not have predicted that at all. But both extremely beautiful programs.
Both look at the depth of edge and the strength down in the knees, really using those ankles. Great flow. That looks okay. Those skaters were working from the first beat to the last beat of the music.
And lots of
really driving.
Small extra flares that we've talked about that really make a program. So we think this is the
detail
one
is
that
phenomenal.
possibly had an issue. Oh, there it was.
Yeah, she did fall. Yeah, there was a fall, a collision. And a
She
fall.
got back in very quickly there, didn't she?
Yeah,
'Cause
but
we'd
still,
barely
fall's a fall.
yeah. So to move into first, they're going to need a score of above 133. Their best score of the season is 136. So
this is going to be
this is
very
going to
telling.
be very, very tight.
You can
very,
see the
very
coaches
telling.
are worried.
The scores, please, for Team Crystal Ice Junior.
Problem is it affected
Team
a
Crystal
number of
Ice
elements.
Junior has earned in the free skating 124.16
So 124.16.
with a total score of 200.09.
So 200.09.
Just a smidge ahead of the
So puts them into
Finished team.
second place. So Junost is still in
4
first with
hundredths.
205. So we've got 400ths between Mystique and Crystal Ice. And now we've got our final team of the competition, Team Fantastic Junior, representing Sweden. They are currently in third. They were in third at the end of the short program. And they need a score of 131.45 to move into first place, which for them would have to be a season's best.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask.
Count down from 10. 10, 9,
Skating to
8,
Skating
anesthesia.
Yeah, anesthesia.
6, 5,
interesting interpretation in this program. A little bit of gapping there in the angled intersection. But strong, fast, good rotations. Hopefully their pivoting block will not go awry. No. So, well done. Very good moves element for this team. Some really good touches in the transitions within the element. Fun artistic line as well. Really being led by the music in this program, and another strong whip intersection. All of the teams in this group have done well with the whip this year. Now they have their traveling circle, which is interlocking. Good flow over the ice. Travel was consistent the whole way through that element. Into their synchronized spin. Again, very good unison on that synchronized spin. That was lovely. Well deserved strong geo. They are certainly rising to the occasion. They're going to be challenging. So Miwa and Kaisa have done a very good job with the choreography of this program. Loved the short program, and this is another strong offering from them. So no mishaps for this team. So it's going to be very tight. It will be very interesting to see how this all works out.
That was very much an edge of your seat program. I think my palms are a little bit sweaty from watching that. It's very tense. I've never known synchronized skating be quite so tense before.
The whole group has been interesting.
Fabulous skating from everybody. Really exciting skating, and seeing what these juniors can do has been absolutely fabulous throughout the whole competition.
It's been a great competition.
So these guys need a score of 131.48 to put them into first. It's not. They haven't done it yet this year.
No, but not beyond the bounds of possibility.
But it's not totally unrealistic, and that would push them above 200 points. Hopefully, if because they did get a season's best in their short yesterday, and that would be a great achievement for this team because they haven't done that before. It's fabulous to see several teams breaking that 200 mark, especially only having been broken for the first time last year.
And they drive each other, so the standard goes up and up each year.
And we were saying yesterday that both the Finnish teams and the Russian teams, because they've got two teams each in the competition, that inter-country competition really drives the sport. And you can see, that they've got to try and stay ahead of the other teams. It is obviously friendly competition, and they support each other throughout the whole event, don't they? But there is that drive is so clearly visibly there.
You naturally want your team to be the number one for your country. But a clean program, and again, we can see really lovely rise and fall of the knee, strong edges, good drive.
And you could see the
maintain
focus
speed
and
in and out.
determination
Yes.
on their faces as well during that last slow motion shot.
Quite like the little Scrubs theme of the ties
Yes.
at the back of the dresses. those gowns that you get in hospital, which
I'm not
do
sure that's
nothing
what
for
they
your
were going
modesty.
for.
Yes. I'm
Don't-
glad that they just did that on the top of the,
Yes,
the
don't,
dress. Yes.
I'm not going to tell them you said
Let's
that.
not go there.
No. Their unison here was beautiful
Ah.
to watch. It's,
And
it's
this
just
is what
amazing.
we're looking for in
Yeah.
the synchronized spins, not just the number of rotations or the speed, but the unison of the
Yeah.
rotation. So, tense moments.
Yeah, so it all comes down to this. Who's going to be on our podium for the World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020?
For Team Fantastic Junior. Team Fantastic Junior has earned in the free skating 132.15.
So 132.15, which is the best score they've achieved all year, and will put them,
with a total
think,
score of 205.
And they've
to
done it.
first place, 205.91,
They have done it.
which puts Team Fantastic Junior into first place at the World Junior Championships, which is absolutely fantastic.
By tenths.
By tenths of a point. This has been such a tense competition. Like I said earlier, it's been so exciting. Tears of joy. I can't believe it. They've
Wonderful for all of
skated
the skaters. I'm so happy for
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
skaters and the teams.
And this team particularly, they've skated some of the best I've seen them.
Absolutely
This
wonderful.
concludes the ISU World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay with us for the victory ceremony, which will take place in a few minutes.
So Team Fantastic Junior in first place with a score of 205.94, and then just behind them Team Junost, and then just behind them Team Crystal Ice. So such a tense competition, so exciting. Yeah, like I said earlier, my palms are sweating after watching that last group skate. Who would have thought that the Russian teams would have had a few mistakes, and that the Finnish team would have skated possibly one of their best skates of the season. So absolutely smashing their previous records of the year. Their highest highest score to date was 128.54. So to get a score of that size was just absolutely fabulous, and you can see how pleased and how excited they are. So a massive, massive well done to all of the skaters that we've seen competing through this event, from the teams that was their first ever junior world skating debut to those that are seasoned competitors. Everybody has given it their absolute everything.
So,
And we're
it
now
has been an amazing competition. I
and
hope
we're now going
everyone
to
who has joined us
go
here
to Chris
today
Buchanan,
has
who's interviewing the
thoroughly enjoyed
winning team.
Everything that they've seen. But of course, we have to say a huge congratulations to our winners. How does it feel to be here in Nottingham, being top of the world?
I don't have any words. This is amazing. I don't have any words.
Is this what you expected when you came to Nottingham?
No. Excuse me. Oh.
I know I've caught her a little bit out of breath. Wonderful performances from all of our teams today, especially the teams in the top group. How do you feel about being part of such a great event?
This is amazing. There are so many great teams. So, this is, oh my God. So, Oh.
So I hope you feel your visit to Nottingham has been worthwhile.
I should maybe come back someday. This is a beautiful place, and we skated 2 beautiful programs, so it's amazing.
So I hope you've enjoyed both the competition and your visit to Nottingham itself.
Yeah, of course, yeah. This was amazing week, and thank you to everybody.
Great crowd, wonderful arena, wonderful support from all of the organisers and the volunteers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for your performances. It has been an absolute joy for all of us here. A pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you to everybody at home who's joined us for the Junior World Synchronized Skating Championships 2020. I hope you've all been on as much the edge of your seats that me and Chris have. So thank you very much from us. Massive congratulations to all of the teams competing. And please do stay tuned for the award ceremony, which will be coming up shortly. But from me, thank you very much and good night.
My sunrise on the darkest day got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you nibble on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah. Ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. No sé qué estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, esto está mirándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me pruebas de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza. Oye.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming, ay bendito. I can go forever cuando esté contigo.
Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a
Que le
poquito.
enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos.
Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a
Hasta
poquito.
provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Despacito.
Look into the window of my mind. Reflections of the fears I know I've left behind. I step out of the ordinary. I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now. And you can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud? You could be so many people if you make that grab for freedom. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Still so many answers I don't know. There are so many answers. Realize that true question is how we grow. So I step out of the ordinary. I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now. You can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud? You could be so many people if you make that grab for freedom. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, do it today. Yeah, I can feel my spirit rising and change. Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, so do it today. Yeah, 'cause I can see you there rising. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Yeah, let me hear you, let me hear you, let me hear you. So what have you done today to make you feel proud? Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause you could be so many people if you make that grab for freedom. So what have you done today to make you feel proud? What have you done today? Yeah, let me hear ya. What have you done today? What have you done today? What have you done today to make you feel proud? Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020, Nottingham, Great Britain, victory ceremony.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world.
Third and winner of the bronze medals from Russia, Team Crystal Ice Junior. Second and winner of the silver medals from Russia, Team Gymnast Junior. First and World Junior Synchronized Skating Champions for 2020 from Finland, Team Fantastic Junior. The medals are awarded by the ISU representative for the ISU World Junior Synchronized Skating Championships 2020, Benoit Lavoie, who will award the bronze medal to the team captain of Team Crystal Ice Junior, Sofia Gorsheneva. The silver medal to the team captain of Team Gymnast Junior, Anastasia Shirokova. And the gold medal to the team captain of Team Fintastic Junior, Emma Kaskinen. The representatives of the organising committee will now present the medals to the team members. Sarah Allen, Event Manager, bronze. Felicity Kitching, Head of Volunteers, silver. And Mitch Stevenson, Chairman of the Board and Motorpoint Arena, gold.
When she was just a girl, she expected the world. When she was just a girl, she expected the world. When she was when she
The flowers are presented by Donna Gately, Event Director. The referee, Cynthia Alpan, and the technical controller, Karen Robertson, extend their congratulations to the teams. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the champions.
Oimamme Suomi synnyinmaa, soi sana kultainen. Ei latsoa, ei kukkula, ei vettä rantaa rakkaampaa kuin kotimaa tää pohjoinen.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists. We'd like to thank you all for coming to the competition, and we wish you very safe travels home.